Hi, Professor Torres. For my final, I'll be talking about Mylan and the EpiPen scandal. Mylan is one of the most successful companies that has created EpiPen. EpiPen is the brand name of an auto-injectable device that delivers a drug that helps when people are having an allergic reaction. An EpiPen is used to save lives and is easy to use with the auto-injectable device. When the EpiPen is used, the user just jabs into their leg and it releases a dose of epinephrine, which is adrenaline. This adrenaline helps to treat severe allergic reactions, which is anaphylactic shock. Epinephrine is actually something that is produced in our body naturally. The quick dose of it in the EpiPen helps to create the fight or flight response in the body to help the airways stay partially open until further treated. This device was first created for the military, and Japanese chemist Jokichi Takamine was the first person to discover adrenaline as its own chemical. The self-injecting EpiPen was used in the military to protect them from chemical warfare because they needed something that did not react with chemicals but acted fast in emergency situations. When people started to realize they could use it to treat allergic reactions, they figured out how to make it in large quantities and tested it in medical settings. The self-injecting device worked, and the FDA approved it for allergic reactions in 1987. Before this, people just had to have a needle and medicine and would have to inject themselves. EpiPen changes the world because when the body goes into this anaphylactic shock, a person can just stab himself with the EpiPen, which is instant and helps them before they are rushed to the hospital for further treatment. So first, when EpiPen was approved by the FDA, it took many years to get on the market. Mylan started to sell and market EpiPen in 2007 when they acquired it from Merck. There is not a large market for EpiPen, and the FDA is very strict in allowing companies to produce these objects, and so they are very strict in their regulations for product safety. Many different companies have tried to produce this product, but they have failed. Mylan only has one other competitor, so it makes for a small market, and it makes Mylan not have to spend a lot of money on advertising because people already trust their brands and know it's reliable. Customers were so happy with this product in the beginning, but then something started to happen in 2016. The price of EpiPen grew 500% from about $100 to $600. This caused great controversy in well-off people and even poorer people. Many customers knew they needed to live, but they could not afford these astronomical prices. There were many unhappy customers. The CEO of Mylan is Heather Bresch, and she is the one that's been under attack for this whole scandal. She explains how EpiPen did not do this to perform any harm on anyone else. Many customers feel it is outrageous. The actual drug that goes into EpiPen costs less than $1, but the self-injecting device is really expensive. Furthermore, Heather Bresch defends her company in the scandal. She talks about the bill that Barack Obama passed in 2013. This bill helped EpiPen build up emergency supplies in schools and other daycares and workplaces. Bresch argues that the increase in price over the past 9 years has to do with all of the EpiPens that they were giving away. She argues that EpiPen has to compensate to make everyone safe. But well-off people did not even want to buy the EpiPen for $600, and poorer people can't even afford one. Humans with severe allergies need EpiPens to survive and help them in emergencies. Some people may look at it as life or death situation, so they'll buy it anyways, but other people look at it as Mylan and Bresch are stealing customers' money, and I think that's exactly what they're doing. Ironically, as the price of EpiPen increased in 2016, Bresch and executive salaries started to increase. This seems like a very unethical practice. Bresch seems to be violating the common good here. An NBC article talks about how CEO and executive salaries rose. NBC News says proxy filings show that from 2007 to 2015, Mylan CEO Heather Bresch's total compensation went from $2 million to $18 million, a 671% increase. In 2015, President Rajiv Malik's base pay increased 11.1% to $1 million, and Chief Commercial Officer Anthony Monroe saw his jump 13.6% to $625,000. And with the salaries rising and the EpiPen price at its highest, consumers still needed to purchase them. Some people have such bad allergies that they need an EpiPen to survive no matter how expensive it is. It's insane to see how much the administration in Mylan is taking advantage. People started to realize that executive salaries were going up when the price of EpiPen was rising. Usually the price increase is applauded for companies because it means they're selling so much and they can't supply it so fast, so they have to make the price high. But this is not a case in a life or death drug. The government also gave EpiPen a large amount of money to help children. Mylan got the money from the government to put EpiPens in schools, daycares, and other workforces. When the government realized that Mylan was scamming them, they demanded $465 million from Mylan to pay for their scam. The government realized that Mylan was just increasing the prices to gain money for themselves. Mylan did give EpiPen to schools, but still, they're not that expensive, so they are making such a great deal of money. Moving forward, Mylan had to do something to help people because most of the population could not afford the prices, and it was cruel and unethical to make people with severe allergies live without an EpiPen. Mylan came out with a generic brand, but the generic brand still costs $300 for a 2-pack. More people are willing to pay this, but it is still not an ideal cost. Even today in 2019, the generic EpiPen still costs $391. People are still buying EpiPen because of brand recognition, and about 3.6 million Americans are prescribed EpiPen each year. Consumers are questioning if the laws and regulations of the pharmaceutical market are sufficient to protect consumers. In this case, I do not believe they are, because this case is very unethical. Overall, this is very unethical because, for example, if a person was having a heart attack and they were rushed to the hospital, but they didn't have the proper insurance to pay for the ambulance or anything at the hospital would still treat them because it's a life or death situation. If a person cannot afford an EpiPen, they are putting their life on the line. If someone who is severely allergic to peanuts eats them or touches them by accident and doesn't have an EpiPen, they will most likely die before they are rushed to the hospital. Everyone that I know that has a severe allergies has an EpiPen. My dad has an EpiPen, and he carries it everywhere with him. I know that he pays an astronomical price, but it's life or death for him, so he has to. In the end, this is a violation of the common good. CEO Bresch is only thinking for the success of herself when other people are risking their lives every day. EpiPen should lower the price, and when they lower the prices, there will be a higher demand, and Mylan will still make a great deal of money. This is overall an example of an unethical activity in a company that needs to be changed to help all people around the world be safe in their lives and practice the common good. Thank you.